All right, I know that was a ridiculously long intro video, but I wanted to showcase all the awards this team collected this season, and partially because of how good you were this season, sir. So, without further ado, introducing quarterback Javonte Johnson. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Good morning. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to have you on. You've been on briefly before on the AWFC All Access, but it's definitely your time to get your story out there. So, for those who don't know, why don't we start with where you've signed for the 2023 season so far?
So far this season, I'm gonna be attending camp with the Salina Liberty.
Very
They,
nice.
they got a little well as brief as I know their history. Is like amazing with quarterbacks. So you know,
100%. We
looking.
talked off camera, and I mean, Tyree Adams, he's in the CFL with the Red Blacks. Mitch Kidd just got an XFL invite. He had a brief stay with Salina. Chris Barrett, same thing. He had a brief stay with the Salina. He was in the FCF last season. So a lot of guys making the leap up to the next level from Salina. Definitely a good opportunity for you, I believe. So how many people has Salina signed from the Tri-City Rush so far?
Oh man, if I'm not mistaken, it was me, Chris, Bims, Kev, and Salgado. Yeah,
Dang.
so 6. We had Rook and Mo was gonna sign too, so it was about to be like not all of us, but majority of us, all the out of state guys too. And like I said, there's some other guys, from not out of state who I believe could move up, but for other reasons they, not pursuing it, stuff like that. But they could play up.
Agreed. I know there's a few guys that are kind of content with where they're at in the AWFC because it's close to where they live or whatever
Yep.
that may be. So I'm sure there's more players that could have gotten contract offers.
Well,
Um,
honestly, I didn't think Day would leave because
really?
he got like a good job. You stay in Seattle, make a lot of money, stuff like that. But like I said, when I met him and I seen him that he was back in the AWFC, I was like, dang, why you like, like I said, I didn't. After a few games, I was like, why you never tried to move up? He was like, he just never really, like, he moved up here, got a job and all that stuff. He was playing football basically for the fun of love, like for the love, but it was never like I'm about to go all the way up. But I told him since the first game, like, bro, you should definitely be trying to play somewhere else, like somewhere up. Not somewhere else, but you should definitely be moving up. He was like, yeah,
Yeah,
man. If he was just saying the opportunity come, he might take it, but he wasn't really, trying to get that. But I guess he changed his mind. He ready now.
that's awesome. I mean, hey, sometimes it's the relationships you make along the way that form your career. So maybe the relationship with you and your progress to the next level kind of inspired him to come with you.
That's it.
So, what does it mean for you to play for such a decorated head coach? I mean, we've talked a lot about Coach O's background here on the channel. So, quick rundown: he's an IFL Hall of Famer, former IFL and AFL NFL player, former defensive back. I believe he's led the Salina Liberty to the last 3 championships. You guys are trying to make it 4 in a row, and hopefully back-to-back victories.
So in my opinion, I never played for like a coach like so decorated since high school, and even being that it was basketball. So basketball, that coach made basketball my favorite sport. Like I'll just be honest, like when I got like there was some stuff going on in football in high school before my senior year, blah blah blah. So he like just made basketball, it for me because just the way he coached and the way he kept us together, stuff like that. So like I said, I don't know Coach O'Neil so well. We talk a lot, but I don't know him like super well. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know him and playing for him for sure.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all play together again and this time with the CIF,
For
one
sure.
step up. So obviously we talked briefly about it. The last few quarterbacks to come through Salina have gone up to the next level fairly quickly. Is that your ultimate goal, to suit up for the outdoor game?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like I said, especially like with everybody going to Salina, like all the guys, like I definitely like would love to finish the season, go undefeated with a championship. That's our goals. And like I said, it's not like we're just making goals and see what happens. Like, everybody working. We talk to each other every day. Like, I already added a couple guys from Salina. So yeah, but ultimately, what I mean, for sure. And like I said, I watch those guys. Not talk bad, anything like that, but I definitely believe that I will do it for sure.
I would agree. I would agree. You definitely have the skill set to make it at, multiple different outdoor leagues. I mean, whether that's the USFL, the XFL, the CFL, or the NFL for that matter. So we're going to rewind a little bit now. We're going to way back to college. So you end up attending Dakota College at Bottineau. Is that pronounced correctly?
Yep.
Okay.
That was like the last school I played at.
Gotcha. So talk to us about your time there.
At Bottineau?
Yeah.
Man, Bottineau in North Dakota, man, it's like a boot camp, bro. I'm telling you. It was like in the middle of like a bunch of reservations. So it's like no like cities or like, like it was Walmart in Bottineau. It wasn't even a McDonald's. It was Walmart and Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is like one of the more expensive fast food restaurants, compared to McDonald's and Burger King and things like that. So it was McDonald's. It's a pizza place. It was Dairy Queen, and like that was it. It was like 2 hotels. Yeah, that was it. And so like I said, it was literally we working out or like playing football. Like, like it was something to do with sports all day or school. And then like once it get like, like in the middle of football season, it starts snowing. And then like it's such a small town that like there's like one guy to plow the whole town. So like one day it was like 16 inches of snow. It was like -6, and he couldn't plow. So it was like snowed in for like a week. Like yeah, it was. But like I said, I met some of my best friends I met from there. Honestly, I went to I played for the Warriors, and we played in Daytona last year, and my guy from Jacksonville, I stayed at his place from Bottineau. Like we met at Bottineau. Yeah, that's my guy. He played wide receiver for me, but yeah, I ended up staying at his place. But yeah, Bottineau probably, like I said, it was such a like solid like everybody's confined. Like yeah, that was probably like where like I met like majority of like my teammates who like transferred over into like friends forever basically. So but yeah, like and man, they had we had a bunch of guys from Florida. Like that was the first school I played at where it was like so many guys from Florida, and yeah, they were good. Like we were good. But so like I say, I played at Bottineau. I played at Fergus the year before that, at Fergus Falls Community College.
Okay.
I was an All-American at Fergus Falls. Well, like I said, man, I was a little high-headed, man. Like I said, that's why I try to be so coachable now, because like I just went through so many like problems that shouldn't have went through, and basically, trying to blame other people, but ultimately it was all my fault every single time. So like I said, that's why I try to be so coachable now, no matter what, stuff like that. But ended up transferring from Fergus. I didn't start at quarterback at Fergus until I started at quarterback in Fergus, man, like week 5. He had me playing safety, corner, wide receiver. I led the team in interceptions and passing yards and rushing yards and all that stuff like that. When he finally put me at quarterback, we made a little run or whatever. But so like I said, back to Bottineau. I ended up transferring to Bottineau the next year or whatever. I wasn't going to Central Lakes, but my little brother was playing football at Bottineau. And he was telling me he was coming back for his sophomore year, whatever, cool. So I went to Bottineau, and he ended up not coming back just because it was like, I'm telling you, like, if you like go there, if you leave, you probably don't go back. Like, unless you like really have big plans ahead, like, unless you're really like dedicated to what you're doing. It's just the way it was. But ended up going to Bottineau. Second possession of the first game, I got I was running up the field and I like back jick or something, and some guy from behind me hit me, knocked my rib out of place, poke a hole in my lung. So, but I didn't come out, like it hurt it, but I just thought I got the wind knocked out of me, so I didn't come out of the game. Well, the very next play, I went to hand the ball off, and like I couldn't pick my arm up, so I like tried to flick it, and then I got hit. And when I got hit, I guess the guy knocked my rib out of my lung, and then I all of a sudden like started hyperventilating. You know what I mean? So I got rushed to the hospital. All that. I had like my lung only collapsed like 36% or something, so I got the little tube or whatever. So he sent me home. So I was supposed to be out. It was JUCO, so I was JUCO season like 9 weeks. So he told me I was supposed to be out for 12 weeks. So just being me, that was the first game of the season. Week 6, which is 5 weeks away, we played Fergus Falls, which is the school that just basically made me restart my career because once it was at Fergus, man, I like started talking to like Sioux Falls. Like I just started like like getting my name out there. Like I was supposed to leave Fergus after my freshman year, but like I said, I was gonna graduate from there just so. Like I said, back to the Botno story. So I was supposed to be out for 12 weeks, but by this time I was 21, so or 22, something like that. So like 4 weeks later, we played Fergus. So I was like, man, I was rehabbing like quadruple the time they told me. Like they scheduled me to rehab, all that stuff. Ended up coming back to play. I ended up making it back in time to play Fergus. Like my trainer, like he hated me after that because he was swearing to God I shouldn't have came back. But I didn't get hurt again or anything like that. I came back. I was kind of playing like timid the first 2 games, but yeah, first game against Fergus, I played. I had 5 touchdowns. We lost by 3 points. That was my first game back. But we had a quarterback, 2 quarterbacks from Michigan, and they were pretty good. But yeah, like my first day back at practice, it was like, yeah, I was like, all right, we got our quarterback back. Like just typically how it happens everywhere. So came back from that. Like I said, I missed 5 games. I still made the second team all region or whatever. But yeah.
You made second team all region, having missed what, 5 games, 4 games?
5 games. I think I missed 4 games. I think it was 4 games that I missed, but yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, normally you wouldn't hear something like that. That just shows how incredible your performance was in those other 4 or 5 games it was.
Well, it was like, so like they was gonna like get me to take a medical ratio year, but like I said, it was Botno, man. It was like I could not be there for that long. Like it was bad. Like yeah, I could not be there for that long. So I just
That's hilarious. So ultimately, in after the 2019 season, your college actually shut down the football program. I mean, did you know that was coming at the time, or did it catch you off?
Man, so like I said, when I was at Fergus, like that's like in high school, like every time we called plays in high school, I always had like a 3-option play call, like depending on like how many safeties they had and then how many people were in the box. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in high school, I already got accustomed to calling plays. At Fergus Falls, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was so bad at Fergus. Like, I had to learn how to call plays. Like, it was no choice. But my coach was like cool with that at Fergus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, if you want to change the play, go ahead and change the play. Well, when I got to Botno, my defensive coordinator was the one who recruited me to go to Botno. So he was like, Javante, do what you gotta do. Like, you know how well, my offensive coordinator was his first year, he was from Miami. And he was a white guy from Miami. But man, Coach Mitch, he was crazy, man. I ain't lying. But like I said, he dealt with a bunch of hotheads before. So he just was like so like, I won't say stuck on his coaching style, but like him and our defensive coordinator were like literally getting a feud. And like basically if I change the play, he'd get mad. Like because he was fussing with our defensive coordinator saying, if I call this play, it's gonna work, and he'd call it, and obviously I changed it because like I said, I wouldn't just change it and be like, oh, I'm changing this play. Like my teammates would be like, bro, this play not gonna work. Like, yeah, I know they over there fussing, like I could barely even hit a play in the intercom because they on the sideline having an argument or whatever. But yeah, so that's how, like I said, Botno, man, it's like a lot of times, man, we was set up for failure because of that feud. I'm not gonna lie, and like I said, it was so obvious. Like everybody on the sideline, like you could literally hear these guys fussing at like every game, like 3 times a quarter. Like it was bad. And like I said, our defensive coordinator was the head coach, so like basically like he wasn't going anywhere. And then Coach Mitch had all the connections, so he was sending all of us to college. Like I said, I was supposed to go to Livingstone after that, but then I had Javante, which is my son, in Grand Forks, and then my baby mama at the time was going to come with me, and then she decided not to. That's how I ended up in Grand Forks where I'm at now. But yeah, like man, it was like literally it was like us against the coaches versus the other team. Like it was like, yeah, it was crazy. Even like when I got hurt, and like I said, it was the other quarterbacks. They were both freshmen. One played at River Rouge, and the other one was from Flint. And like I said, they like just be flustered when the coach is fussing, and they trying to figure, they freshmen in college trying to figure out what's going on. Our whole offensive line was all freshmen. We had all freshmen offensive line. Well, we had all freshman offensive line. So it was like nobody to like, and then like I said, our coaches like once our offensive coordinator calls something, our defensive coordinator don't agree with, instead of them having a conversation or like they literally just start fussing. So it's just like a big trickle down. But that's probably like the best players I've ever been around. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like we had some guys. So like we tended to figure out. I had an All-American at Botno, wide receiver, Jacob Clare.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So we're going to move on into your post-college career. You end up playing for the Fargo Invaders, a semi-professional team. How did that opportunity come about, and what was your first experience in semi-pro like? And just so you're aware, I'm going to play your
So,
highlight tape.
I, so I moved from
Uh-oh.
when I moved to Grand Forks. Grand Forks had a team, but Grand Forks was bad. Oh, this is 2018, huh? Man, you should have played 2019 one day. I was lit in 2018. But Grand Forks had a team, and they played in like a low league. It was like not worth it at all. Like it was like guys who had never played college before, stuff like you could just tell, like just watching, like. So I decided not to play South South that year. But then all of my guys from Fergus Falls, literally like 12 players from Fergus, were already playing for the Invaders. But I assumed that it was like the Grand Forks stuff. Like I was like, nah. I'd rather just not play, whatever. Well, they was like, oh no, we scrimmage Grand Forks in the little UND stadium at the beginning of the season, but we scrimmage them like because we usually beat them so bad. So I was like, all right, I'll come to the scrimmage, I'll come like just to go against Grand Forks to see. So I ended up going to practice, and like it literally looked completely different from the Grand Forks team, but I still wasn't like all the way bought in yet. Like I was like, all right. Well, we get to the Grand Forks state. We played the Grand Forks team. I swear we put up like 140. Like they didn't keep score, but we put up like 140. It was like 140-0. I ain't lying. So I was like, all right. So then the first game we ended up playing this team from St. Cloud, and I wasn't even gonna go, but one of the guys who played at Ridgewater, which is a college around here, he was like, "Oh, I heard you playing." Like he started talking smack right away. Like, "Oh, I heard you playing. I heard you doing this and that." That's my guy, cool man. Rest in peace to that little dude right there. He was 19, bro. He got in a car accident back at home and died, but he was legit. But what the hell I'm saying? But yeah, we ended up playing Ridgewater, and then like I said, I showed up. It's like all college guys that playing for Ridgewater, like the whole roster. And then at that point, I was like, damn, I might be on to something. And then the next week, we played the Minneapolis Warriors, which is the team that I won nationals with last year. And yeah, they was legit. So yeah, at that point, I was like, dang, like it's almost like better competition than JUCO, like So I was like, dang, like maybe I can be as competitive as I am, and not feel bad because I'm playing against like little kids or whatever you want to call it. Like not, but I'm just being realistic. But yeah, this league was lit that year for sure. It was like all college guys, couple D1 guys, couple guys. Shit. When I played for the Invaders, I got Josh Gatlin. He got a couple rings at NDSU. He played in the NFL. I got Jeremy Gordo. He got a couple rings at NDSU. Yeah, we had like 8, 9 guys from NDSU on our team. The guy who catching the ball right here, he played at Concordia all 4 years. He was all conference like 3 years in a row.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, one of the big things about the football leagues is that, I mean, so many players are coming out of college every season that the NFL and, XFL, CFL, all these different leagues, they simply can't employ everybody.
Yep.
So leagues like this do get a lot of talent. I mean, to hear that you had that many big name players and, D1 players at that is just a testament to the recruiting for that team.
The St. Paul Pioneers had an All-American that played at UNI, a D tackle.
Very nice.
He's like the best player in semi-pro. Not gonna lie to you.
So you end up moving on to the Minneapolis Warriors, like we just talked about, of the NEFL. What did you like or dislike about this league?
So the thing about the Warriors, what happened was, we before anything happened, like when the coach recruited me, the first thing he said, he was like, "You want to play in nationals against the best team in the country?" And I was like, hell yeah, like what's this about? And he was like, "Well, we're gonna recruit as many as the best guys in this area that we can from whatever team they are on, and see if we can get them on the Warriors." And that's what happened. He literally got like the best player, because the Sioux City Stampede, they were like ranked in the top 10 like 3 years in a row. They won their league like 3 years in a row. We beat them with the Fargo in the championship, and then their team folded. Well, not folded, but their team like he just the guy, he went actually like work for the Pioneers or something like that. But so we got like 6 or 7 players from the Stampede, and then we got me from the Invaders, and then we got the best running back from the Pioneers. And then, we literally went stack our team to go to nationals. So, like, we put up, like, 97 points like 2 times. I'm pretty sure we averaged like 65. It was bad, man. It was fun as hell, though. I ain't lying.
That's insane. So, I mean, obviously, as you just spoke about, this approach led to nothing short of dominance. I mean, they've appeared in 5 straight bowl games, winning 4 of them. I assume you had your hands all over some of these victories. Talk to me about how Minneapolis manages to consistently be a good team, because obviously they're losing players each season to professional leagues.
For sure.
So what is it? I mean, is it just the coaching staff? Are they just that good at recruiting, or is it the opportunity?
Well, I'm not like I said, it was right after the COVID season. You know what I'm saying? So like nobody was really like locked onto a team, like unless you played for them for a few years. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then it was also players wanting to play together. It had a lot to do with the recruiting, though. Coach Anthony, he don't coach for him anymore, but yeah, he somehow got us all to believe that we was going to nationals, and we did. And then even so, like, man, it was like a bunch of egos on the team, man. But we had Coach MJ from Florida. Yeah, I don't know what it is, bro, but I don't think nobody else would have been able to coach that team except for him. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think I met nobody that would have been able to coach that team, bro. I swear to God. I'm telling you. It was just, even in Florida, man, it was just crazy. Like we had like a bunch of, it's not even bad egos, like, you know what I mean? It was just a bunch of like people that like, you know, like I can do that, you know, or like I want to do that, like, you know what I'm saying? Or like I'm gonna get it done. Like it was that was it. So it's like if somebody missed a play, sometimes it will be, bad energy towards it. And then even so, like it'd be bad energy from that player because he's so mad at himself. It was just a bunch of stuff, man. It was like I ain't gonna say I didn't think it would work, but like after the first couple of practices, I ain't know how it would work because I'm telling you, like semi-pro practice, it's all right. Whatever, we show up, we practice, we laugh, we joke, all that. But when the first couple of Minneapolis Warriors practices, like when I first got on that team, after that, we bought all those good players, man. I'm telling you, it was like a camp, like for 2 weeks. Like we had like 75 people. I'm talking about like 50 of the people we got in here would start for every other semi-pro team around here. Like, and we had 50 of us. Like, yeah, it was crazy. Even the quarterbacks, we had like three or four quarterbacks the first couple of days, and like all of them were like really good in their leagues, stuff like that. So yeah, even the quarterback competition was like 4 of us.
Crazy. So after your time with Minneapolis, you end up landing with the 2022 version of the Tri-City Rush. The Rush had won the championship in 2021, but needed a new quarterback. How did the Rush end up finding you?
Man, I got Alec. Alec found me on a semi-pro page. He made a post in the Midwest, like the Midwest. This is Midwest semi-pro page that we all be on. He made a post like who's the best quarterback in semi-pro, and like basically I got the most comments. So he messaged me and like send me your film, and I was like who are you, blah blah blah. And then like I said, I like had a couple arena opportunities before that, and I like it wasn't even that I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to play arena, but if I had to, I would have. But I didn't want to play it at all. And then, like I said, it was like it literally happened in the worst time, like with some bad stuff was going on with my custody stuff with my son and stuff like that. So it just I just couldn't take the opportunity. So when Alec hit me up, I was like begging him, like, bro, I felt like I was being stupid, missing the opportunity, like just not smart at all. Like I was like, bro, I need this opportunity, like begging him for it. He's like, bro, I got you. Just show up to camp. Like we invited 3 other quarterbacks, but we think you're the best one, so just come on, do what you do, and you got the spot, all of that stuff like that. Man, I was like, I literally started getting, and in semi-pro, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, in semi-pro, man, I worked out like a little bit, you know what I mean, like like a month before the season started. But that like once the season started, I said like it's whatever, semi-pro is this never. So, but before Tri-City, I started to try to get in shape and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm down 205. Yeah, I'm in shape now, bro. It's over next year. You're about to see something totally different. I'm not gonna lie to you, but not even talking about that. Just talking about the Alex situation. But now, man, all of the out-of-state guys that he brought in all the out-of-state guys, bro. Everybody who just signed to Salina, Alec brought all of us in. Every single one of us.
Gotcha. So maybe Alec, sorry about that, has a job as a future GM of a bigger team or something.
That's what I'm saying. So look, I'm telling you, bro. I don't know how he got us. Just literally, he got like a guy. It was Tennessee, Minneapolis, North Dakota, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then Indianapolis. Like literally got somebody from like all those little grab, and yeah, we went undefeated. Everybody literally jailed like nothing. Like even before we started winning games and all that, bro, everybody was already like jailed together. Like so winning games and all that just made it, more easier and natural. But even before that, we was already gelling together and all that stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the big things about your team is the chemistry. I mean, you guys all support each other. I mean, you're all cheering each other on every time we see somebody sign. So, I mean, I think that he did an amazing job in team building. So, if that was mostly him, kudos to him because, I mean, wow, talk about an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
So you go on to seize the starting job for the Rush right away and put on a show for the fan base over the next few months. What did you like most about your time with the Rush?
Man, just my guys, but I ain't gonna lie to you. That was just like no matter what we did, we had a group of us that always like if we saw like one person or a couple people in a certain place and we ain't know about it, oh, it's like a few now. Like we probably about to start fighting in the parking lot for like 10, 20 seconds, and then we good after that. Like it was that serious. Like that we all had to be together no matter what we was doing, and it wasn't like a forced thing. Like if somebody show up, like, oh man, what Kevin at? Oh man, what Rook at? Like where you at? Like you ain't hit him up? Like no, I ain't hit him up. Or like me and Rook stay in the same place, so we went everywhere together. But anytime somebody seen us not together, that's the first thing we did. We talk about like, oh, where he at, bro? Like, oh, what's he at? Oh, they're just, and like I said, it was our coaching. Like, bro, it was just so like everybody just gelled together. Everything was cool. We didn't have that many problems. Like, and like I said, even like the problems we had, like they got stubborn coaches. I mean, I won't say stubborn coaches, but coaches who believe in what they believe in, whether it worked or it didn't work or what. But like I said, our coaches, they were like more like a player's coach, you know what I mean? Where like what we said translated, way faster than typically. Like they were actually listening and, leaning both ways type of deal.
That's key. I mean, in my mind, the best coaches always adapt to the players they have, not vice versa.
Yes, sir.
So you end up leading your team to an undefeated regular season. Do you feel after winning all your games during the regular season, does the pressure level drop entering the playoffs, knowing that you're already there, or does it increase still?
Well, obviously it increased because we played everybody, twice already. And as you see, if you watch the game, they're literally improving the whole game. So it's like, like I was already knowing that was gonna happen. Like they didn't blitz one time, both linebackers dropping back in coverage. So that's why Marco, I was checking run a lot more. Like I said, I had freaking three check down touchdowns, like literally hitting a short route, bam, they take it the whole 50 yards or whatever you want to say. So I had one interception trying to look downfield the whole game, even though they were in prevent, because I mean, like I said, I got big receivers, so like as long as I see their body, basically they're open. So they was like trying to take that away, and I was still throwing the ball down the field. But once I threw the interception, I was like, all right, like let me make them scoot up now because they literally just dropping back everybody. So then I just started hitting checkdowns. Manny took a slant, 50-yard touchdown. Mo took a hitch, 40 yards. Yeah, so it was a little pressure, but I already knew what I had to do. That was the thing. I won't say, being greedy, but as a quarterback, you're like, especially with a big arm, you just want to throw the ball downfield.
100%. 100%. You're a gunslinger, so that makes sense. Get the ball in the hands of the playmakers around you and let them do their job. What are a few criticisms of your game scouts would point out that you're already working to correct?
Throwing off my back foot. It's like,
okay.
It's like I said, it's like a timing thing. Like that's why I don't get sacked a lot. Like I mean, like I said, my offensive line was really good, but you could watch film, and it was a lot of times where, some of them weren't playing as good for little spurts. Like it was never like, oh, you had a bad game. Like like never stuff like that. It was never that with our offensive line. Like we were solid, but we have a couple bad plays trying to figure out because playing against the dude Vika from Wenatchee, and then he'd be switching positions and all that stuff, and then so it was just like, but it's like it's hard to throw the ball away, man, when you got 2 6'4" receivers, and then a big arm, like you saw, like you showed the 2 fadeaway touchdowns to Mo and Day to Wenatchee. But at the same time, like that's not ideal. Like that's not what a quarterback's supposed to do. You know what I mean? So I try and limit it, and obviously I'm trying to like I said, it's more like a timing thing. Like Drew Brees feet chopping, and he's about to get sacked. So instead of like leaning back, he like put a little more air, like throw it like 0.5 seconds earlier. You know what I'm saying? So he don't have to throw it off his back foot. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm already I know like the stuff I do, like when it works it's good, but when it don't work, like you need the fundamentals, like you know what I'm saying. So yeah, for sure. Like I said, most of the time it's my feet. Like that's the only time I ever miss, like when my feet just moving a lot, or I try to throw off my back foot a lot. But just staying calm, like that's typically what it is.
Gotcha. So with that being said, what's your most valuable trait you bring to an offense? I mean, is it playing off schedule, perhaps?
So off schedule is easy for me because I like calling the plays anyway. Like once the game starts, once you've been, especially that quarterback, and I've been calling plays for so long, and working with my coaches calling plays, so it's like I like. It's like whenever you're playing, like say you're playing 2K, and like before you take a shot, it shows like the percentage underneath the player. It shows the percentage underneath the player, like on the percentage that is happening. So it's like if I'm in the game, if I see a 5'10" guy on Mo and a 6'3" guy on Day, and we got Day call for a jump ball, I'm about to flip it around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just natural. So that on the fly stuff, yeah, that's definitely easy. But man, I think it's just like, like just my leadership. I ain't gonna lie. Like, like keeping the blend between like keeping my teammates happy and my coach happy. Like everybody know I call plays. Everybody talk to me. Everybody know I got this real high IQ. You guys, all my teammates, that's all we ever talk about. Like, bro, I got the highest IQ. Like, so it's like, yeah, like I want to change this play, but I feel like maybe coach really wanted to call this play, so I'm about to blend it for my team. Like, dang, bro, it's all good, bro. Like, just believe in coach on this play. We're gonna switch it next time. We have, stuff like that. Like keeping everybody cool, calm, together. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of deal. I think that's my best trait.
That makes perfect sense. So basically, the quarterback's almost the middleman between the coach and the rest of the offense.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, so moving on to the next question, which you spoke about it before, but I believe it was about a different team that you actually averaged 60-some points a game for Minneapolis, was it?
Yep,
or was that Fargo? Okay, so this past season, you guys headed into the playoffs after scoring an unbelievable 446 points in just 7 games, putting your average at 63 points a game. There was a 2-game stretch in there where you put up back-to-back games with 87 or more points and combined for a total of 170 points in 2 games. I mean, is your goal to put up triple digits every game?
Man, like I said, like we said, the plan is it's always to move up. You know what I mean? And to me personally, I always see guys doing some unbelievable stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just that's every game I go into, that's literally my goal. Like I'm literally trying to do some unbelievable stuff and win the game, whether it's
give us just a second. We'll get Javante back on. It looks like we're both having some intermittent StreamYard issues here, it appears. So give us just a moment, and we'll get him right back on.
Nope. I'm back. My bad.
You're good. Sorry about that. I had the same issue just a second ago.
But yeah, I'm always trying to do some unbelievable stuff, man. So like when I played at Fergus, man, I wish I had my Lakeem, because Lakeem played with me at Fergus Falls. That's one of the guys who played with me for that Warriors team where we averaged all those points. That's like my best friend. But I used to play. That was like the last time. That was in 2014. That was the last time they made the NCAA, and I used to go play the My Player on NCAA and get like 8 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, and then I like right before the game, right before I had to be there, and we walked there together, and like, bro, I'm about to do what I just did in the game, and that's what I would try to do every single time I went play. So, like I said, when I like play good enough to do that, that was my goal for sure.
Definitely. So I wanted to highlight something that you and Mo Strong did this offseason that I thought was amazing. After the season was over, after you guys had already collected a championship, you guys went and played semi-pro ball to continue developing as players, which I wanted to highlight that because, first of all, that shows dedication. Second of all, that shows an unbelievable passion for the game. So I think coaches in general would love to see that because you're trying to improve with every given day. And I think that's just amazing. I mean, talk to me about what motivated you to be there.
All right, so I already had to keep my word. Before I went to the Rush, I told the Pioneers that I was with them next season. And then when we talked about me going to play pro, it was like, once your season done, man, come help us win a championship. And like I said, we already talked. Those coaches for the Pioneers, they literally like more so of people and like not so much coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the vibe they give off. Like just being honest. So, and I already talked to Mo. Like, yeah, he didn't want to play with no, especially in semi-pros. Like, he's not playing with nobody else in semi-pro. And then, like I said, the coaches are so more of people than the coaches. It was like, oh, you know, we want you to get better. Like, we want you to use the opportunity to get better. So what can we do for you to get better? So I'm like, you know, obviously if I go to the XFL, the NFL, you know, it's just like it's a system of like pro style. Like so you got to be able to, like, even if you want to be good in the shotgun, you know, you still got to be able to be a pro style quarterback as well. So they like implemented like play action, like from under center, like, you know, so I could take a bigger drop, like an NFL look, like stuff, you know, stuff like that. So it was like, oh yeah, let's go for sure. And it was crazy, man. They had this quarterback, big 6'5" kid. He plays right now. He plays at St. Thomas in Minnesota. So I don't know what the problem was, but they had lost 2 games in a row right before our season ended. They lost to Fargo and Kansas City. And their quarterback just played, like, I don't know, he just might, you know, play bad. Like, he was a kid. He's 19 or something like that. He's like a 19-year-old. Some 19-year-old semi-pro, he playing with a bunch of grown men who don't have nothing to lose. Like, you know, if they get frustrated, ain't no telling what they're going to say. That's just how it is. And like I said, he's a 19-year-old kid, but now he played bad, had like 6 interceptions in like 2 games, something like that. But yeah, I went in, played the same 2 teams, had like 12 touchdowns in 2 games, no picks. Well, no, I actually did have an interception, but it was against Kansas City, but it was, I won't say it was Mo's fault, but it was the referee fault, because like the dude grabbed Mo's ankle, and like Mo like looked back for the referee, and the dude just grabbed the ball, and it was right there. Like Mo could have probably still grabbed it, but like the dude grabbed his foot, and he didn't want to get hurt, so he like was looking for the call, and the dude ended up picking it off. But yeah, me and Mo never lost a game together, man. We like 27-0 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's unbelievable. That run in itself is just insane. But I mean, it's pretty much sounds like that's been the general consensus for your entire post-college career. Everywhere you go wins.
While I'm getting better. Like I said, I do play on some really good teams, obviously, but I'm still getting better. So like I said, I'm still going to, you know, cross the T's and dot the I's as many chances as I get.
100%, 100%. And like I said, that's why I wanted to highlight what you guys did this offseason. I thought it was very commendable. I told you that on several occasions because in my mind, if you love the game and you mean that, you're going to do everything you possibly can to continue to be the best you can possibly be. And in my eyes, that's exactly what you and Mo were doing. So, I mean, kudos to you guys.
It was like in high school, you know, and when I got to college, bro, I could throw a football 90 yards. So, you know, the last couple of years, I probably still throw like 80, 85. Well, I just played this arena season, and the first 4 games, bro, I was hurt. Like, we thought I had a torn rotator's cuff, so we, like, KT taped my throwing arm for the first 4 games, and then we had that 4-game bye week. So then we found out that my rotator's cuff wasn't wrong with it. I just had a weaker muscle because, like, instead of my regular throwing form, you know, I had the arena ball, so my arm dropped a little bit. So, like, it was a different throwing form with me still throwing with the same velocity, like, it was like I had like a little nick in my arm every time I would like come forward because one of my muscles were weaker or whatever. So we got it stronger, you know, all that good stuff. Fixed it up. It was all like perfect, like the Sculpt Fitness and in Pasco, man. They was lit. They got me all right and stuff. I was all scared and stuff. I thought I was about to get sent home because I was injured, but I was still throwing touchdowns and no interceptions, so I was cool. But it all worked out. But dang, man, I forgot what I was just saying.
You were playing taped up, and then you had the 4-week bye. You found out that you're.
Oh yeah. So I went and play this flag game with Marco. Ask Marco and Manny. I wish they were on here, bro. I was throwing that football like 90 yards again, like because I just threw the arena ball for the last 4 months, so my arm got like stronger. So I was excited to go play 11 man again. I was just wanted to get back on the field and throw that dang football. Yeah, I was launching that football.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I got a couple more questions for you. One of which I want to kind of put you on the spot, and I apologize for this,
No,
but
it's all
I
good.
feel like it's something that I haven't had the opportunity to really talk to anybody about, and I feel that you present a unique opportunity to do this. So, um, I feel as an African American quarterback like yourself, sometimes people want to pigeonhole you into other positions because they see you have athleticism. You spoke about it earlier. You played some defensive back, you played some wide receiver, but when you watch your game, you're more of a pocket passer. So, do you think that's something that's just a misconception automatically placed on you?
Man, you know, you can't like I won't call it a misconception because like typically an African American quarterback is more athletic. You know what I mean? So like typically you get coached with that ability. Like you said, it's good when your coaches can adapt to what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So typically so it's like it's not such a misconception, but when that's not the case and you get that label because of that, that's when that's when it becomes a misconception. So like it was so funny, man. I'm telling you, everywhere I've ever played at, I got dreadlocks. My coach talked about in high school, man. I'm telling you, I was a sophomore. My basketball coach talked to me about cutting my hair because of this. And I was like, I was a little kid. I was like, oh, no, coach is all good. But, that's actually a thing. But, people see me show my dreadlocks, and my lifelong meaning tattoos. I don't just have anything tattooed, I got stuff about life tattooed on me. But just the fact that my dreadlocks, my tattoos, all he can run. Like, he probably not going to sit in the pocket and pass. So it's funny, man, when I got to Tri-City and Tate had watched my film for the last 3 years. And like I said, that was always the narrative. When I was in JUCO, yeah, I ran the ball. Like, I was fast. Long story, I played basketball my first year in junior college because I was in trouble for football. So I didn't even get to play football. So I got really small. So I was just running the ball everywhere. But like I said, once I learned that was the narrative, like, oh, he's probably going to take out running. Oh, he's better on the move. Like, all right, now I got to work on the basics. If I really want to be a quarterback, at a higher level, I got to go watch Drew Brees and Tom Brady, stuff like that, like how they sit in the pocket, and which is I did, and I implemented that like to a T. Like, okay, I'm only gonna run if I literally have to run, or if we need a first down, and like that's it. Like I'm not going. Coach call a run play. I'm like, coach, man, I'm about to check pass. Like like I'm trying to be. So when I got to the rush, like I said, Tate had watched my film for the last 3 years, and I'm pretty sure in the last 3 seasons I probably had like 20 rush attempts. So he was like, oh, he's not gonna run the ball. So I was like, hell no, I ain't gonna run the ball. I was happy at first, but like I said, once the season went on, I was like, bro, I can run the ball. Yeah. He's like, no, you can't run it. You ain't gotta run it. You don't want to run. So it's like we was going like back and forth. Like, man, I can run it if I want to run. And he's like, nah, you don't want to run. Like, yeah. So, but that was cool with that. Like, Tate did that. Like, he switched it around. Like, oh, he's not a runner. He's not gonna run. We're gonna put somebody else in to run the ball. So I was like, that's funny. Like, that's what I wanted to happen. But now that it's happening, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I want to run the ball, but it was all good. I listened to my coach.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I appreciate you speaking on that because it's something that's always kind of bothered me. We always heard about like Lamar Jackson and stuff like that. Oh, he's a wide receiver. No, he's
Nope.
not. He's a quarterback.
So when I played at Botno, his wide receiver from high school was my wide receiver at Botno. That's why I said,
Really?
Botno was the craziest stuff ever. I went to Florida that year and I met Lamar Jackson. I got a video. I can send it to you after this. We went to the strip club together, all that stuff. But that was when he was at Louisville. But yeah, man, that's like, just like because he has such a good ability to run the ball, they discredit him throwing the ball. Like that don't even make sense. Like
Exactly.
it's there. Like the film's there, the stats are there. Like it's there. Like especially compared to 80% of the other quarterbacks in the NFL. Like it's not even close. Like but like you said, like that's the label.
Yeah, it seems that way. So, final question of the day. If you were signed by a team and they gave you the Peyton Manning or the Tom Brady treatment and they were like, install whatever offense you want, we're going to run to your game, what are you picking?
Man, I mean, obviously it depends on what level I'm on. You can't go in the NFL and spread it all day. It's because they too good. But I mean, typically, man, I'm throwing the ball. I'm trying to be like Patty. I'm 65, 60 plus pass attempts. I'm cool with that. I have no. I probably had like 10 games in my career where I had over 60 pass attempts, like 10, 12 games. When I played with Fargo, I had 60 pass attempts in the rain. But
Wow.
yeah, that would be me, man. I like to throw the ball, man. I like running. I like when I got a good running back and all that stuff. But typically, I don't. So I've adapted to, not turning the ball over and sharp pass for the run, read the field when we get the chance, throw it downfield. Anytime we get a mismatch, stuff like that, for sure. But yeah, I typically see everything. I'm not gonna lie. So, like when we played in the national championship, in against the Detroit Ravens, the game-winning touchdown was a checked run. They were making a substitution. The defense was, and we weren't. So, we could snap the ball, and coach was calling me to the sideline, and my teammates like, bro, just call the play, and I had just got rocked. So I was like standing there, I was looking at him, and I didn't know what to say, so I just called the run. And like I'm telling you, after the play over there, I was like, boy, I can't believe you checked run. I can't believe you. He ended up running the ball for 45 yards for a touchdown, broke like 4 tackles, scored a touchdown, we won the game. But I had just got hit, so I wasn't really like registering. So I just said something. I was like, Texas, and that was our run play. And when he ran for a touchdown, and everybody was like, I can't believe you checked the run. I can't believe it. I was like, hell yeah, that shit was crazy.
That's awesome. That's such a cool story. Well, with that being said, Javonte, I'm going to let you get out of here, man. I know you got some kids to get back to, so have a great day. And I appreciate you coming on, and I look forward to talking to you in the future when you make it back to the outdoor game.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure to have you on, and I cannot wait to see what you do in 2023.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you, bro. I got you.
Definitely. Stay in touch.
Yes, sir. Have a good day, man.
You as well. All right. So once again, guys, that was Javonte Johnson. So first team all AWFC quarterback, offensive MVP, and AWFC league MVP, Javonte Johnson. You may not know the name yet, but you will soon enough. Tune in this season to the Salina Liberty, because guaranteed they will be back in the championship game if Javonte Johnson has anything to say about it. So definitely make sure to tune in to ShadySportsNetwork.com all season long, because we'll be bringing you up-to-date news from the Salina Liberty, and we will also be sharing out all their casts of their games this season. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. If you have not done so yet and you're on YouTube with us, go subscribe, please like and comment, and when you do so, you're automatically entered in our drawing to win up to $150 in sports memorabilia of your choice. One lucky winner will get given this at 500 subscribers. We are only a little under 170 subscribers away. So tell your friends, share this out, let them know. We want to get you some Salina Liberty gear for the 2023 season. So help us do that. Help us make it happen before Salina kicks off for the 2023 season. And most of all, thank you for all your support for me, for Javonte, and everybody else who's been on the channel. And don't forget to tune in for the NFC Beast later on tonight at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, I'm out. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.